Keep it simple, but not too simple. Einstein. Pessimism is ubiquitous throughout the Western world today. Whether today's anxiety stems from the inability of politicians in Washington, D.C. to fund the U.S. welfare state, or from the intractable euro crisis in Europe, there is a rising sense of gloom and helplessness on both sides of the Atlantic. I'm an optimist, and this book is offered as an antidote to this contagion of gloom. It proposes solutions to many seemingly insoluble problems. For example, the prospect of a lost decade and ballooning U.S. healthcare spending. I believe these to be novel solutions, and in arriving at them, I've drawn upon new and quite sophisticated theories that are based upon deductive logic. These are the levers and pulleys that make it possible to identify new policy solutions. This book has 3 goals. The first is to identify 5 important problems confronting the United States that must be addressed and solved. The second goal is to champion the role of deductive as opposed to inductive logic in arriving at solutions to these problems. Deduction yields much better results, particularly in policies that are win-win in nature. By way of review, deductive logic in this context is the process of laying down some basic assumptions or axioms, and then deducing the desired policies from those axioms, when possible. This process is much less prone to bias than that of inductive logic, where policy solutions are sought from the analysis of real-world data. The third goal is to demonstrate how this discovery of win-win policies makes it possible to tone down today's dialogue of the deaf, that left versus right shouting match that has resulted in American gridlock. A far greater consensus is possible than is now recognized, and gridlock can be broken on issue after issue. This book should be read at these 3 different levels of analysis, corresponding to these 3 different goals. Identifying 5 U.S. challenges. Each of the following challenges confronts the United States now, and will do so for years to come. Resolving them is fundamental to the nation's future. 1. The threat of a lost decade. There's a very real possibility that the decade of 2011 to 2020 will be one of slow growth, very high unemployment, rising federal debt of the wrong kind, an accelerating loss of bond market credibility, and an end to U.S. economic leadership for the first time in a century. Can we prevent a lost decade of this kind? Yes, we can. There is a unique solution to the nation's current economic crisis, a particular type of U.S. Marshall Plan. This conclusion is deduced from first principles utilizing a branch of advanced macroeconomic theory that is not familiar to most economists and policy analysts. 2. The entitlements crisis. Polls make clear that the American public is finally aware that today's welfare state is in terminal decline. My favorite indicator of this reality is the poll in which more young Americans under 30 believe they will see flying saucers than believe they will ever receive Social Security checks. Additionally, people are beginning to understand the role that has been played by phony liberals, in causing this state of affairs. A flibberal is a well-meaning person who blindly endorses a flawed concept of equality between people. I believe that a woman is equal to a man, that a gay person is equal to a straight person, that a poor person is equal to a rich person, that a white person is equal to a black person, but that an old person today is 4 times superior to an old person of the next generation, and should therefore receive a return on lifelong Social Security contributions, 4 times greater than will be received by a retiree in the next generation.